Let me describe a feeling you probably know too well. You see her across the room, or her name lights up your phone, or there's a moment, a real opening, where all you have to do is speak. And in that exact second, something inside you freezes. Your mind floods with every possible way it could go wrong. Your heart speeds up, your mouth goes dry, and a voice in your head says, "Don't. You'll embarrass yourself." You're not the kind of guy who does this, so you say nothing. You let the moment pass. And then you spend the rest of the night, sometimes the rest of the week, replaying it, hating that you froze again. And here's the lie you've been telling yourself about why this keeps happening. You think you lack confidence because confidence is something other men were simply born with. You look at the guy who walks up to anyone, who speaks easily, who seems unbothered, and you assume he won some genetic lottery you missed. So you wait. You wait to magically feel confident before you act. And you'll be waiting your entire life, because that's not how any of this works. Welcome back to The Connection Code. Today we're going to talk about confidence, and specifically why almost everything you've been taught about it is wrong. Because here's the claim I'm going to prove to you over the next several minutes. Confidence is not born, it's built. And most men are building it completely backwards, which is exactly why they stay stuck. But if you stay with me to the end, you're going to understand what real confidence actually is, why the kind you've been chasing is fake and fragile, and the exact steps to build the real thing from the ground up. Let me start by destroying the biggest myth, the one that keeps men frozen forever. The myth is that you need to feel confident before you can act. You're waiting for the fear to disappear, for the nerves to settle, for some internal green light that says, okay, now you're ready. But that green light is never coming, because that's not the order it happens in. Confidence is not the thing that comes before action. Confidence is the thing that comes after. It's the residue of action. It's the evidence you collect about yourself every time you do the scary thing and survive. You don't think your way into confidence, you act your way into it. The brave man and the scared man feel the exact same fear. The only difference is that one acts anyway, and in acting, slowly becomes someone who trusts himself. Now I need to draw a hard line between two things that look the same, but are total opposites. There's fake confidence, and there's real confidence. And chasing the wrong one is why so many men stay insecure no matter what they do. Fake confidence is external. It's built on things outside of you. The right clothes, the car, the follower count, the validation of getting a woman's attention, the approval of the room. It feels like confidence, but it's hollow because it depends entirely on conditions you don't control. The moment the validation stops, the moment someone rejects you or the room goes cold, fake confidence collapses because there was never a foundation underneath it. It's a costume, and costumes come off. Real confidence is internal. It's not the belief that everyone will like you. It's not the belief that you'll never fail. Real confidence is the quiet, unshakable belief that no matter what happens, no matter how it goes, you will be okay. It's knowing that if she says no, you'll handle it. If you embarrass yourself, you'll survive it. If you fail, you'll get back up. That kind of confidence can't be taken from you by a single bad moment because it was never built on the moment going well. It was built on trust in yourself. And that's the only kind worth having. So why don't most men have it? To understand that, we have to look at the three traps that keep men stuck in fake confidence or no confidence at all. Trap number one is seeking confidence through validation. This is the man who tries to feel good about himself by collecting approval. He needs the likes, the compliments, the woman's interest, the friend's praise to feel like he's enough. And every hit of validation feels great for about an hour. But he's actually digging himself deeper because he's training his self-worth to live outside of his own body. He's handing the keys to his self-esteem to other people, and then wondering why he feels anxious and empty. You cannot build a stable house on someone else's land. As long as your confidence depends on approval, you will be a slave to everyone whose approval you need. Trap number two is the comparison trap. This is the man who measures himself against every other man, especially online. He scrolls and sees men with more money, more muscle, more attention, more success, and every comparison chips away at him. Here's the cruel math of comparison. There will always, always be someone ahead of you on every single metric. So if your sense of worth depends on being better than others, you have signed up for a war you can never win. Confidence built on being superior to other men is just fake confidence in disguise, because it still lives outside of you. The only comparison that builds real confidence is the comparison between who you were yesterday and who you are today. Trap number 3 is avoidance. This is the most damaging one because it feels like safety. Every time you avoid the scary thing, every time you don't speak up, don't make the move, don't take the risk, you get a small hit of relief. The anxiety drops, and your brain quietly learns a devastating lesson. It learns that the thing you avoided was genuinely dangerous, and that avoiding it kept you safe. So next time, the fear is even bigger. Avoidance doesn't shrink your fear, it feeds it. Every time you run from discomfort, you make your world a little smaller and your fear a little bigger, until you're living in a cage built entirely out of all the things you were too afraid to do. Now, if you recognize yourself in those traps, good. That awareness is the start of getting out. Because here's the truth. Confidence is a skill, and like any skill, it's built through specific, repeatable practice. So let me give you the 4 steps to build the real thing, the kind no one can take from you. Step 1, take small, scary actions on purpose every single day. You don't build confidence by attempting one massive, terrifying thing once. You build it through repetition, through a stack of small wins that slowly teach your nervous system that fear is survivable. So every day, do one thing that scares you a little. Speak up in the meeting. Make the phone call you've been avoiding. Say hello to the stranger. Share the real opinion. Each small act is a deposit into your confidence account, and over weeks and months, those deposits compound into something powerful. You are gathering evidence day by day that you are someone who acts in spite of fear. That evidence is what confidence is actually made of. Step 2, keep the promises you make to yourself. This one is the secret foundation that almost no one talks about. Self-confidence is, at its core, self-trust. And trust with anyone is built by keeping promises. So every time you say you'll wake up at 6 and you do it, every time you say you'll go to the gym and you go, every time you say you'll stop scrolling and you actually stop, you are proving to yourself that your word means something. You become someone you can rely on. On the flip side, every broken promise to yourself is a tiny betrayal that teaches you that you can't trust you. Start small, but be relentless. A man who keeps his word to himself walks differently than a man who doesn't, and everyone can feel it. Step 3, detach your worth from the outcome. This is the mental shift that sets you free. Most men tie their entire self-worth to whether things go well. If she says yes, I'm valuable. If she says no, I'm worthless. As long as you live like that, every interaction is terrifying because your entire identity is on the line. The shift is this: make your goal the action, not the result. Your job is to make the approach, not to control whether she's interested. Your job is to ask for what you want, not to guarantee you get it. When you define success as having had the courage to try, then you literally cannot fail, because the outcome was never the thing you were graded on. This single reframe removes most of the fear because it puts your self-worth back in the only place it belongs, inside you. Step 4, build genuine competence in something hard. Real, deep confidence has a quiet anchor, and that anchor is competence. When you become genuinely good at something difficult through real effort over real time, you build a core of self-respect that nothing can shake. It could be a skill, a craft, your physical strength, your work, a discipline you commit to. The process of struggling at something, sticking with it, and slowly mastering it teaches you the most important lesson confidence requires. It teaches you that you are capable of growth, that you can start as a beginner who's bad at something and become someone who's good at it. Once you've proven that to yourself in one area, you carry that belief everywhere. The man who has mastered one hard thing walks into every new challenge thinking, I figured that out, I can figure this out too. Put these 4 together and something quietly powerful happens. You stop waiting to feel ready. You start taking small, scary actions and surviving them. You keep your word to yourself until you trust yourself. You detach from outcomes so fear loses its grip. And you build real competence that gives you an unshakable core. That's not a costume, That's a foundation. And no rejection, no bad night, no comparison can take it from you because you built it brick by brick with your own actions. Because here's what I really want you to understand before we close. The confidence you've been waiting to feel is on the other side of the actions you've been too afraid to take. You've had it backwards your whole life. You've been standing at the edge, waiting for the fear to leave before you jump. When the truth is, the fear only leaves after you've jumped enough times to know you'll land. Every man you admire for his confidence was once exactly where you are now, frozen, scared, doubting himself. The only thing he did differently was act anyway, again and again, until acting became who he was. There's a line I want you to carry with you. You don't rise to the level of your confidence. You fall to the level of your courage, and your confidence is built from there. Courage comes first. Courage is the choice to act while still afraid, and confidence is the gift you receive on the other side of that choice. So stop waiting to feel ready. Stop chasing the fake version that lives in other people's approval. Start today with one small, scary action, one kept promise, one brave attempt where the only goal is to have tried. Do that long enough, and one day you'll realize the frozen man you used to be is gone, and in his place is someone who finally trusts himself. That man was always in there. You just have to build him. If this video moves something in you, hit like and subscribe so you and the connection code can keep decoding the real psychology behind confidence, love, and connection together. And if you know a man who's been waiting his whole life to feel ready, send him this because he needs to hear that the waiting is the trap. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next one.